Hello guys, what I wanted to do today is just a little talk about animalic fragrances. Now yesterday evening I was watching Ray-Ban's David do a little video about animalic fragrances. It was a great video, and if you haven't watched it, you have to watch that. There's a great summary overview of animalic fragrances, and he talks about different animalic fragrances in his collection that he likes and some thoughts about animalic fragrances. What I wanted to do in this video is just kind of expand on that a little bit. First of all, there are a couple of notes that I consider to be quite animalic that he didn't mention. First one is vetiver. A lot of people, when they think of vetiver, they don't really think, animalic. They're like, that's a leafy or a grassy note. How is that animalic? Well, typically the oil for vetiver comes from the root. So the root being in the earth kind of gives it more of a dirty animalic vibe. And the vetiver really isn't for everyone. The harsher vetivers can be quite pungent, just like other animalic notes. And another fragrance note that deserves mention is petrol, which is like the petroleum gasoline note, which would probably be derived from the fossil fuels. So animals and the fossil fuels definitely is an animalic vibe. And most people, when they think petrol, they're going to think of Christian Dior's Fahrenheit, and that's probably one of the most relevant vintage designer fragrances for animalic fragrance lovers. I would say that would be a great gateway fragrance. Form an opinion on Fahrenheit, and I think that will kind of pave the way for your fragrance journey in the animalic realm. If you love Fahrenheit, I think that would tend to push you in the direction of animalic fragrances. If you didn't really like Fahrenheit, I think you would probably do better to steer away from animalic fragrances. That might not be the case for everyone, but I think the people that I see in the community that like animalic fragrances do seem to have a lot of respect for Fahrenheit. So I think that would be the case. What I also wanted to do was give some recognition and shout outs to a couple of other reviewers besides Ray-Bans that I think are great resources for questions about animalic fragrances, because I'm really not someone that typically has tried a lot of those fragrances. But of course, Dan, my Mickers, loves ouds and he loves vetivers. So check out his channel, and if you ever see him on Blog TV or you just want to send him a message, I'm sure he'd answer your questions about animalic fragrances. And another reviewer, and this guy, he has a great nose and also a great love for animalic fragrances. Unfortunately, a lot of his videos, actually I think his whole channel was pretty much deleted right now. It was a little glitch on YouTube's part. Something happened, but you know who I'm talking about. Tony, Code Horror, loves those animalic fragrances. He did this epic video a while back where he got his boss's opinion of leather oud, and it was just a great video. And unfortunately, I think it's probably not going to be on YouTube again. It was just a great, candid opinion of an animalic fragrance. And also, Tony did introduce me to leather oud, sending me a sample of it. So I'm greatly appreciative of that. So, yeah, I just wanted to sort of throw that out there as far as animalic fragrances go. As far as I go, I try not to get too deep into animalic fragrances. I'm more into fresh notes, just getting compliments, wearing fragrances, for others, and also smell good to myself, which doesn't generally mean animalic notes. But I would say try to ease into it if you're going to go that way and you're not really sure about it. Give some of these fragrances some time. I know the first time I smelled leather oud, I thought it smelled really dated and nasty, but then as I wore it more and more, I think I picked up more on that beeswax note and the sweetness of it, and I started to like it more and more. But like oud, you might want to start off with the fresher ouds, like Royal Oud from Creed or Kerosene's Rude Elements, instead of jumping right into the deep end with the stronger, more pungent ouds. And same with other notes like Civet, like a fragrance I tried out recently. Hugo Boss's Elements Aqua had a little cumin in there, but it wasn't a pungent cumin. It was just blended well with some amber and other fruity notes. So yeah, just try to be careful about your journey in animalic notes if you're not sure about it, and don't make any sudden choices, because these notes tend to take some time to really appreciate. So that's all I have to say about that. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.